Hello. Hi, you guys. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Alicia, your beauty bestie, and today we're talking about ditching daily toxins. How exciting, right? We're going to talk about some beauty products today while I get ready for work. Y'all, it's been an interesting couple weeks. Let me just tell you that. First and foremost, let me just tell you that because I recorded a whole week's worth of videos last week that I kind of just ditched because because it wasn't really feeling like me. It wasn't feeling like authentic and real in the way that I really want it to feel. It was feeling very contrived, like I was following a strategy, which I was, because I can tend to get a little chaotic in this video making journey, and something in me says, you have to be clear, you have to be consistent. And the more I'm starting to understand my human design, the more I'm understanding that that's all bullshit. Like, it's not real. So I'm letting go of that. Last season, we talked all about leaving survival mode, and it's a journey. It's definitely a journey. I'm no exception to that. Anybody who's walking through this experience can attest that it's not always easy to get yourself to stop doing the things and the habits that you would adapt and adopt as part of your conditioning when we're growing up and being taught about life and how things are, right? But what I realized is that well, first of all, I hate editing, and I tried a little something last week where I was like, oh, it's okay. You can push yourself out of your comfort zone and do some editing. Try a different format. Just see how it goes. And okay, well, now I see how it went, and it didn't. It didn't go. It was, it just wasn't, it didn't flow for me. It didn't feel quite right. And then those ones that needed edit, they just sat there in my editor. I got them uploaded and I started watching them, and I was like, I don't want to. I just don't like editing at all. Editing video is like it's like a pet peeve for me. I just cannot stand it. So I'm really preferring to just do this in a format that's like, I can just record it as I'm doing what I'm doing. It's very raw and real. It's very imperfect and authentic. And that's just what it is, because I'm not going to edit it. I'm just not going to. I'm just not going to do it. So today I made myself some notes, of course, because I don't like to be getting all crazy and off topic. And those last few videos that I recorded, it was chaotic. And it even though I kind of always brought it back to topic because I had my notes, it was still, as I was watching them back, I was like, what in the F are you even talking about? How is any of this relevant to the situation at hand? And in one of them, I even was like, I had a little poof before my video started because I was going about my business around the house, and that's kind of what I do. So, but I didn't like how tired it made my eyes look. So anyways, all of that to say that I'm coming here today in just a much more authentic energy, just to share. I just want to tell you guys some stories about kind of what's been in my experience when it comes to ditching daily toxins and beauty products, because obviously a lot of what we're doing together involves all of these beauty products that I like to use. And as I'm pretty sure I mentioned in one of the videos that won't be getting published to this channel, when you watch this process, right, it's pretty easy to see. Oh my gosh, my skin has been such a terrible mess. Side note, because, well, my boyfriend and I were on Whole30 for 30 days, and it was great, and we felt really awesome, both of us, about it. I learned a lot of new cooking tips and tricks and ways to prepare healthy food that I didn't really know how to do before. And then we decided to take a little break. We took a week off and just kind of had a little splurge weekend of going out eats and some little snackies that we weren't having on our Whole30 around the house. And let me tell you something. between that and I have definitely been experiencing some anxiety in life lately, just about things. My skin is angry. I can see it. I can see the reaction. But anyways, all these lovely products that I have to make myself feel shiny and fresh and not like my skin has been suffering the consequence of my nutritional choices for the last week. So that's one of the reasons why that matters, right? Like when it comes to this conversation that I seem to have so much resistance around other people having with me. A lot of people don't want to hear it. They have their own ideas about beauty products and what they want to buy and where they want to buy it. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. I want to tell you guys a story about an interaction that I just had yesterday that was so revealing for me. It was good for me. It was good for me to sit with that for a minute, because for years, I've been in the beauty business for 20 years. And for most of that time, I've been really on about this concept of, clean beauty and voting with your dollars and being a responsible consumer. And so when this interaction happened yesterday with somebody who I like and respect and admire and like have past interactions with, like we know each other already. It's not like she's a stranger to me online, or even somebody that I've never met before. We have definitely met in person, and like, so it's somebody that I more or less kind of know and and like and get along with and have had interactions with before. And so me being the person that I am, when I say that I have had resistance to these kind of interactions in the past, what I mean is I don't know why, but for me, it's always been a thing that I'm like, from the time I could wear makeup when I was like a 16-year-old girl, my mom started teaching me how to wear makeup in a natural way so it doesn't look made up. You know what I'm saying? That's how a lot of us millennial women got taught. Not all of us, of course. We all have different experiences with this kind of stuff. But even back to when I was a teenager, I have always cared a lot about ingredients and this idea of treatment cosmetics way back in the what was it called? What the heck were they called? Bare Minerals. Back in the Bare Minerals days, that's where I kind of got my start in makeup as a teenager. After, of course, experimenting with my mom's Maybelline, as one does. I started delving into this really deep as a professional when I was taking care of clients in my chair and choosing what kind of products that I wanted to go in my salon. Because I ran a salon for 10 years. So for 10 years, I got to have total control over what kind of products were being used in that salon. And that was really important to me because not only was it about quality, it was always about quality. It was also about other things to me. It was about ingredients. It was about health of the service providers that were using the products. It was about the health of our clients, the effectiveness for solving their problems. Like there was definitely a lot of things that I took into account when I was choosing products for my salon. And so I've always taken this kind of thing very seriously. Like maybe a little too seriously. I've definitely been guilty. Some would accuse me of being a little snobby about it at times, and that's 100% true. Like I've definitely been snobby about it at times, but it's because I've always seen a bigger picture to this, right? Because it's not just about, okay, you buy a product that has phthalates in it. It's not just about the damage that you're doing to your own system, your own body, by putting that on your skin. It's also about, okay, well, what happens when you wash it off and it goes down the sink? What are you even using to wash it off? Does that also have phthalates and parabens in it? Like when you think about how many products did I just put on my face in the last 9 minutes? I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the last 9 minutes. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? Like I usually keep my makeup pretty light these days, but if I'm going to go in and do like a full face look, I could be using 10, 20 different products on my face. And that's not even talking about the deodorants and the cleansers and the perfume spritzes and the air fresheners, and like the list goes on and on, right? We're not going to go into all of that today because I'm teaching a whole masterclass on that in about an hour. If you want to see it, you just drop me an alert in the comments, and I'll make sure you get the link to see the recording because it's happening today. So high likelihood that I won't get this video out before I'm teaching the class, but I'll let you guys check out the recording if you want to see it. So bringing it back around here, I care a lot about this. I really do. Like, it matters to me on so many different levels, and I think about it probably way more than I should, and have been thinking about it probably way more than I should for a really long time, like definitely well over a decade and a half. Like, it's been a long time that I've been contemplating this conundrum that we find ourselves in, because the beauty industry is such a tricky little bitch. It really is. They sell you this idea, first of all, that something's wrong with you, that you need to change the way you look, that all these models that we see in magazines with their flawless skin and their teeny little impossible waist, that all of that is real. They sell us this illusion, right? And then they come through and they're like, oh, well, you need this to make you feel beautiful. You need this to make you feel beautiful. You need this to make you feel beautiful. This is how you're going to feel beautiful, by buying all this stuff. Okay, well, I think we're all now starting to see that that's been a bunch of bullshit. But like, on top of that bullshit, we also have this greenwashing effect that happens, where I'll give you an example. Okay, so I had this interaction yesterday with this person who I like and respect. She posted on her story, and of course, I'm just like dropping through the stories, watching for a second. I don't get on social media that much anymore, but there's a few people and a few stories that I do kind of end up seeing consistently in my feed, and hers is one of them. So it came up, and she's talking about how she just bought this shampoo that she really loves, and yada yada. To be honest, I didn't even like listen to the whole thing, because this kind of stuff gets me like immediately perked up. My ears perk up, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm listening to what she's saying, and I think I skipped on to the next slide where she had said something about chin acne. And so my brain, because I know things, was like, oh, hold on, wait a minute, I wonder. And so I couldn't help myself. I had to go do an ingredients deep dive, as I do on a pretty regular basis. And I've been doing this for a very long time. So I have some pretty good ingredients deep dive tricks that save me some time, which I'll be teaching in my Ditching Daily Toxins masterclass. So if you want to check that out, let me know. And so I Googled what she was using. First of all, here's what I found, okay? The first thing that I found is that they make it incredibly hard to find the ingredients list for these products when you're shopping online. Like, they'll do crap where they'll take a picture of, like, this was on the Amazon listing. There's a picture of the product bottle on the front. There's another picture when you slide of the product bottle on the back. So you look at that and you're like, oh, ingredients. So you click it and then you zoom it up big. Well, it's all blurry. Nobody could ever read that. And then they don't bother to put it in the product specifications. So you don't, it can be kind of difficult, unless you're kind of committed to this, to find the ingredients list when you're shopping online. It's a little different than when you're just in the grocery store and you can flip it over and have a look at what's on the back in ingredients. So we'll start with the problems there. I had a hard time finding the ingredients for this product, because if I'm going to tell somebody that, like, maybe that's doing this, I want to make sure that I'm not just talking out my butt. Like, I want to make sure I go and do the research to support what I'm thinking is maybe going on. And so I finally find it on another website, and I start doing what I do, where I go through the ingredients and I do my little research. And here's the second thing that I found. First of all, in this second matter, on this page that I'm looking at, it says right on the marketing for this product, sulfate free. Cool. That's a buzzword. That's a greenwash thing that a lot of companies are using now. So of course, I never trust that. P.S. You should never trust that. It's not always real. Greenwashing is a thing. I go into the ingredients list. The first ingredient is water. That's pretty normal. Some of them are aloe. I think that's a little better, but water is pretty normal. Second ingredient is a sulfate. Third ingredient is a sulfate. That's so weird. The fourth ingredient is sodium. It's salt, so it's a preservative. The fourth ingredient is also a preservative or a surfactant. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look at my research again. The fifth ingredient is sodium. Okay, so now we're 5 ingredients deep, and there's not a single treatment product or ingredient in this list. It's all sulfates to make it foam, which strip your hair, and sodium, like preservatives. Okay, so I keep going down the list because I'm very curious, and I see I don't even know how many before we ever got to a treatment. It was like, I think it was like 10 of just fluff and garbage that they put in this shampoo before they ever got to a treatment. Now, this is a product that's being sold as a treatment shampoo for thinning hair, for hair loss. They're selling it as a customized, they even have different, and I didn't go this deep down the rabbit hole because, I'll tell you what happened next. So, gosh, it's so frustrating. It gets me all grr, because it makes me so mad. It's just like misleading consumers. They're selling this as a customized treatment product, but I would be willing to bet that in all the different formulations, they're probably all using essentially the same ingredients with very small adjustments. I haven't researched to back that up, but I would bet that. But that's beside the point, because I got almost 10 ingredients deep into that list before they ever put a treatment ingredient in the product. And they're selling it to you as sulfate free. So they're just lying. Now, that's one of my big beefs with ingredients and shopping online. So, me being me, I reached out to her and I said, do you mind if I give you some info about this? I really don't want to be that guy, but I can't help myself. I can't help myself when I know things. And do you mind if I give you some info? And in my mind, I was really trying to be helpful. And so that's why it's kind of surprising to me sometimes when I get these responses back from people, which is not uncommon. What she said back to me was, sure, I am really liking the results and I'm pretty locked in with this, but I'm open to hearing what you have to say. And now that's not a rude thing to say. That's a perfectly reasonable, kind thing to say. But being that this is my expertise and I care so much about it, and in my mind and my heart, I was like offering her my expertise, in hope of being helpful, but also in hope that, maybe I could teach her something today about something that is my specialty. So I kind of took it a little bit like it felt like she was saying to me, and this is probably me being too sensitive. I'm too sensitive a lot. So keep that in mind. It felt like she was saying to me, okay, if you want to give me the info, but like I'm locked in and I'm not going to switch, and you're basically just like wasting your time. And I don't like to waste my time, and I don't like to waste my energy, and I don't like to force my knowledge upon people if they don't want it. Because that's my expertise. That's what I do. That's what I get all pumped to share with people. So if you don't want it, by all means, I don't want to make you a captive audience, which is why I asked if it was okay if I shared. So I had some mixed feelings about that response. And I'll be honest, it triggered me in a way that I was not like thrilled about. It made me feel, just like such a baby. Honestly, I felt like such a baby for how much it bothered me, that it was received that way. And so I still haven't given her the info that I wanted to give her, but I decided that I would just go ahead and share it here in a video, because if I'm going to share this kind of information, I want it to find people who actually want it and care to hear it. And so that's why I'm here today with you, sharing this quick little get ready with me video about ditching daily toxins, because it really matters. And the thing that I found extra weird about it, in this interaction with her, and also a little bit triggering, was the fact that the type of person who's really local conscious, likes to support local businesses, all about doing research. And so I really thought that she would be receptive to me reaching out and saying like, hey, can I offer you some info? But instead, it was almost like she was on defense of me trying to sell her something, which was not the case. I was truly just trying to offer her info. I wasn't trying to sell her anything. So, I don't know. Maybe I took it the wrong way, and I'm not going to let it color my opinion of her or like draw out some long, prolonged feelings about it, because it's not that deep and it's not that serious. I understand that people are constantly bombarded online with influencer marketing and misinformation and people coming at them in the DMs trying to sell stuff all the time. I get it. I completely understand why somebody would be on defense in this online world. But to me, knowing that she's a local supporter and a person who, she's really kind of a change maker. That's one of the things that I admire about her. It surprised me to have her be so locked in her words to a product that she was buying on Amazon, because I'm going to need to probably do a whole video on Amazon beauty purchases. It's really not good. It's really not good. And there's a lot of reasons why. And perhaps I will go ahead and plan to make a video about that, because it's, if you have a beauty professional, meaning someone who cuts your hair or highlights your hair, or if you know a beauty professional, if there's one in your family, or you have a friend who's a beauty professional, I'm just going to be honest, it is a slap in the face to buy your beauty products on Amazon. It just is. And I know I just said like it's not that serious, but it is that serious, because look at what is happening in our world right now. These big corporate conglomerates can just lie to you all day, and you just open up your wallet, hand it over. Like, I don't get that. I don't get that. If they're going to mislead you, why would you shop with them when you could shop with somebody who you know in real life? You could support somebody who is a real life expert in the field instead of supporting Amazon. I just don't understand it. I don't know that I ever will. And there are a lot of beauty professionals out there who might say to you, oh, it's not that big a deal if you get your products on Amazon. They're full of crap. I just want you to know they're full of crap. And they're probably only saying that because they're so tired of arguing and trying to convince you clients sometimes that it's not the best route to go. Like, we get so tired. We only have so many minutes with you in our chair. And I don't know about other stylists, but I don't want to spend those minutes making you feel like I'm just trying to sell you something. I'll tell you another quick little story about why I think that this kind of triggered a little extra emotion in me. So when I was behind the chair full time and when I owned my salon, this was probably in like 2015, I had this girl, and I remember I told you earlier, I've always kind of taken this thing seriously. I've taken my role and my profession as a beauty professional quite seriously. And I see it as part of my job, and expected as such from my employees as well, that you educate your customer, the person that's in your chair, about the products that they should be using on their hair. That's part of it. We're not, yes, we're service providers, but in my salon culture, it wasn't just about slapping a haircut on a head and sending them out the door. Like, it was about showing them how to style it. It was about teaching them what kind of products they should be using at home to keep it looking nice. Us beauty professionals know and understand that you clients are walking billboards. And so if your hair only looks good when you leave the salon, that's really not ideal. Plus, I want you to feel good all the time, not just the day that you leave the salon. That's always been important to me. And so knowing that about me as a beauty professional, I had this girl in my chair, and I was shampooing her, and I was just kind of doing my thing, telling her about what I was using as I was doing her shampoo. I always tried to keep it not salesy, purely informative. I never pushed products on people. That's just not my style. but I'm going to inform you about it because that's literally in my human design. I didn't know anything about human design back then, but now I know, and it makes a lot more sense that I took it as my responsibility to inform people of how they should be taking care of their hair. So I'm doing my thing. I'm telling her about what I'm using and why. And she just stops me partway through and she said, "Excuse me, I really don't like being sold to." What in the, I was so taken aback, y'all. Like I'd never had anybody just stop me like that because I'm not salesy. I'm not trying to sell you on anything. So it really bothered me. Obviously, it's still bothering me over 10 years later that she thought I was just trying to be a salesperson to her. And so, like, fast forward, right? From then, I ended up closing my salon. I ended up going a different route. I ended up taking a different path, trying some different things, taking a little break. And in that break, I was various versions of salespeople, and it's so uncomfortable. I mean, people are just so nasty to you when they think that you're trying to sell them something, and I don't understand it because you're always being sold to all the time. That commercial that you see in your TV break, that's selling something to you. That's actually somebody spending a whole lot of money doing a lot of market media research and putting like a lot of mind manipulation into selling you something. Me, I'm just trying to make sure you have the information. I just want you to know what's up. Because I can't stand it when I know something that could help you and I'm not going to share it. Like, anyways. So I think it just like when she responded in that way of like, sure, but I'm locked into this Amazon product. I don't know. It just, I was in a mood for the rest of the day. I was like, oh, okay. I don't understand why people are so resistant to information. But I do though, because I understand that there's a cost to switch. There's a mental cost, a financial cost, there's an effort cost. Like I get it. I get it. But the thing is that like I'm here to make that easier for you. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not here to sell you anything. Again, I get it. People are always jumping in your DMs trying to sell, and it is frustrating. I hate it too. So I understand completely why she might have felt on defense. And like I said, also, I've been learning how to be an online salesperson for the last 5 years. I haven't always been perfect at it. I've been following, I have historically, these last 5 years, been following a lot of advice from coaches who really don't know anything about me or my business or how I best operate and move in the world. Like, I'm a manifester in human design. That's 9% of the population. That means that in any of these coaching containers that I've been in, those are not created for me. And so by me trying to push through and do it anyways, it really bums me out because I feel like in a way with a lot of the people that follow me on the main socials that I was using during that learning curve, which was Facebook and Instagram, it's like me doing that, me being so out of alignment and just trying to like push through and do what the coaches were telling me so I could be successful. I feel like I destroyed a lot of the trust maybe, and not because I was always out here selling, but I tried. You know what I mean? Like I tried, and I'm just not, it sounds trite, but my human design is not intended to try. I'm just intended to inform and hope that the right people find their way into my offerings so that I can help them. So all of that is to say, it's always been really important to me to share this kind of information. And I'm about to wrap this up really quick because I'm going to have to go get on and do my masterclass that I'm teaching on ditching daily toxins and how to have ingredients awareness, how to do good research, how to know what's a trusted resource and what's an Amazon nonsense. There are a lot of different ways that you can do this research for yourself, and there are a lot of resources that you can utilize that have already been vetted by me that you can trust so you don't have to do the research like that. I'll just leave with one more quick story because, like I said, I have to wrap this up. I get it. I told you, I get it that we're being like constantly sold to in the DMs. And I also get it from like the maybe you don't trust a beauty professional standpoint, because there are so many beauty professionals out here. In fact, I fired a person one time because she was recommending the most expensive shampoo in the salon instead of the one that would actually work the best for that client. I get it. There are a lot of people doing unethical selling and self-serving business out here. I totally understand. And beyond that, you know, I understand that not all beauticians have the time or the energy in their schedule to be informing people as deeply and as thoroughly as I want to be able to inform people on how to make good informed decisions about your beauty purchases and how to ditch those daily toxins out of your day-to-day routine so that you don't have, you know, 14 products that you're putting on that have parabens in them. Oh yeah, when I was going down that list on her shampoo, there's parabens in there too. I forgot to even mention that, because the parabens, there's a good parabens are hormone disruptors, endocrine disruptors. And so with that being in there, there was 3 different types of parabens in her ingredients list. And then she had made the comment about chin acne. And that's exactly what I was looking for in the ingredients list, was those parabens, because parabens change your hormones. Chin acne is hormonal. There could absolutely be a connection there. So like, fantastic that this shampoo is giving you good results in helping your hairline grow. I'm super happy for that. But there are better solutions. The one that I usually recommend to people has water as the first ingredient. There are 2 coconut oil-based surfactants to help with foaming and cleansing. And then the 3rd ingredient is a treatment ingredient. It's flaxseed oil, which helps provide essential fatty acids to the follicle so that the hair can grow healthy. And then just down the list, it's like more treatment, instead of sulfates, salts, parabens, fragrances. Oh, there was even blue dye in that shampoo that she's using. So I say all that to say, I get it. It's important to me. I'm here to inform, not to sell, and I have resources. It really matters to me. And I was going to tell you one more story about how something that happened in my beauty world, but I think I'm just going to save that story for another video, because we're already kind of getting into like I gotta go territory today, and it'll come up again. I know it'll come up again, because there are so many reasons why nothing that I do in my beauty world is arbitrary. So if I'm making a recommendation, there is a lot of reasoning behind it, and there's a lot of thought behind it, and there's a lot of research behind it. And I don't like to just come out and offer my expertise frivolously and lightly to people. So I'm going to go hop on my masterclass where I'm going to get way more in depth about all of this and how it works and how you can learn how to do this for yourself too. And some of my own experiences with it. Maybe I'll tell that story I was going to tell to you guys. So drop a comment in here if you want me to get you the recording. And I'm going to wrap it up for today. Have a beautiful one. If you have questions, if there's more that you want to know about this subject, please drop me a comment. I always love to know what's helpful to people and what you really, really want to know more of. And I don't know, I'm just going to keep making these videos, and they'll probably be a little chaotic, but I'm sure you'll find something helpful in it. So hit the subscribe, hit the like, and check the link, because I'll drop the resources that you'll need to connect with me further down there. And have a beautiful day, you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.